will have no low pay. Credit will have the low pay. A typical low-income family with children could see income fall by more than £20 a week over the next 6 months as a result of the triple whammy, according to the Resolution Foundation. Right, so what it's saying now, not only are your gas prices going to go up, your fuel, your food prices, right, everything's going to go up. And that's a beautiful thing, yeah? Why? Why is it going to go up? Why are you going to spend more money on your fuel prices? Why are you going to spend more money on petrol? Because you're not giving God his reverence. Alright? You're saying it's Mother Nature, it's climate control. You're going into slavery when Christ comes, yeah? First, you're going to go into famines, yeah? Neighbour's going to be knocking on your door asking for food when Christmas comes, yeah? Because you put blacks, Hispanics in slavery, right? Time to pay up. But first you have to queue up at the petrol station to get your fuel, then your food. And it says, we have a small favour at ask. Tens of millions have placed their trust in the Guardian's high-impact journalism since we started publishing 200 years ago, turning to us in a moment of crisis, uncertainty, solidarity of hope. More than 1.5 million readers from 800 countries have recently taken the step to support us financially. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. And it says here, let's read on. Right, so you get the gist. We're going into famines because the whole system is breaking down. Your shipping crisis is not the only thing. Let's see if we can bring out some more of these articles, because it's all good news on this side. Right, let's see. Let's get another one. Right, this is The Guardian. This is Boris Johnson to consider using army to supply petrol stations. So you're breaking down, your infrastructure is breaking down. Okay? And women are going to cover up in these last days. You're going to see no cheeks shaking. Alright? And it says, hundreds of soldiers could be scrambled to deliver fuel to petrol stations running dry across the country due to panic buying and shortage of drivers under emergency plan expected to be considered by Boris Johnson on Monday. The Prime Minister will gather senior members of the Cabinet to scrutinise Operation, how do you say that? Escalade. They come up with some names, didn't they? After BP, British Petroleum admitted that the third of its petrol station had run out of the main two grades of fuel, and this society is set up of fossil fuels, even though they don't need it, because what it is, it brings money. All right, they don't need fossil fuels, but because they're so greedy, the Edomites are greedy people. They can never have enough. Right? This place could be run off of, cars could be run off of water. Did you know that? Yeah? But what it is, they want to bring death. They want to bring famine. You know why? Because you guys are they call you, useless eaters. All you're doing is eating up the land, the resources. So they want to get rid of you, yeah? And it says, while the Petrol Retailers Association, which represents almost 5,500 independent outlets, said 50% to 90% of its members have reported running out. It predicted that the rest would soon follow. So your petrol stations are going to run out soon. And what does that mean? Food is going to run out soon, because that's how they supply your Tesco's and your food chains, by truck drivers, by petrol. You idiots. You put your trust in this society and now it's falling apart. What are you going to do? Who are you going to call on when there's no food in your refrigerator? Huh? The developments led to growing fears that the UK could be heading into a second winter of discontent. You are, because they told you to buy your Christmas presents early. Your fa-la-la-la-la is going to go out the window, okay? Your pagan worship, alright? And it says here, developments led to growing fears that the UK could be heading for a second winter of discontent, and warning that shelves could be emptier than usual in the running up to Christmas, okay? To your pagan holiday, your Babylonian custom, yeah? Your Nimrodic Christmas, your Christmas tree, your evergreen worship, yeah? That's what it's talking about. In a bid to prevent the crisis from developing further, ministers including the Business Secretary, Washi Kawantang, Transport Secretary, Grant Shapps, and Home Secretary, Priti Patel, gathered for a midday meeting on Sunday. So they had to get out of their beds on Sunday for an emergency meeting, all right, about your food shortages and your petrol station crisis. So it's only going to get worse. And it says here, to discuss options including Operation Escalade. Right, it says here, conceived years ago during the plan for the no-deal Brexit. It would mean hundreds of soldiers being drafted in to drive to resolve the fleet of 80 tankers. So you're going to see army members driving your tankers soon, right? But they're saying they need more. They need up to 5,500. Have they got 5,500 army members for them to do it? No, because you're gearing up for war as well. They need them to fight a war. What's coming? All right? And now it says, it is understood that it would take up to 3 weeks to fully implement. So 3 weeks from now. 3 weeks from now, how do you think it's going to look at your petrol stations? All the queuing. You're going to run out within 3 weeks. That's what they're saying. So there's going to be anarchy. Women fighting, men fighting. You've already got videos of men fighting and women fighting at petrol stations. Soon you're going to be fighting in Tesco's, in Lidl's, in Sainsbury's, alright? And it says, because some of those mobilized may already be on other deployments. Yes, your army's being deployed for the Third World War, if you don't know that, alright? As others could be reservists. Escalade was touted as an option last week by government sources, downplayed the chance of its activation. Right? So your government officials are discussing Operation Escalade, right? Deploying army reservists. let's continue. And it says here, late on Sunday night, Wotang also announced that fuel firms would be temporarily excluded from the competition for the purpose of sharing information and optimizing supply. He admitted there had been some issues with supply chains, but insisted there was still plenty of fuel at refineries and terminals. Yes, there's the fuel there, but there's not the shipping. There's not the shipping. There's not the drivers to ship the actual fuel to its allocated premises. This is a problem they have. They got the refineries full up, but there's no one to ship the fuel there. Because the drivers, there's no drivers, all right? Officials said the move would make it easier for firms to share information so that they can more easily prioritize the delivery of fuel to the parts of the country and strategic locations that are most needed. Right, because there's most needed places than others. Alright? So when you're queuing up for your fuel, please let the ambulance workers go first. Alright? Let the people that run the infrastructure of the country go first. But you know what's going to happen? You're going to say no because you're a bunch of selfish bastards. This country is full of selfish bastards. Alright? So it's not going to happen. Yeah? And it says, escalate the other proposals which we put to Johnson on Monday afternoon in a meeting where ministers will also expect to discuss more immediate solutions to try to influence people's behaviour to put an end to the current levels of panic buying. So they're panic buying petrol. You're going to end up panic buying food. And what's that going to cause? That's going to cause the shelves to be empty. And when there's no food, it's going to cause anarchy. Alright? And all these proud ass women walking around are going to suffer the most. Alright? All you proud ass Edomites. Yeah? You call yourself white people. Yeah? But you're the Edomites in the Bible. Right? Your society's falling apart. You know why? Because it's built off of Satan worship. That's why it's falling apart. Babylon is falling, and become the habitation of devils. Right? This place is inhabited with devils. That's why your food supply, M&S, is going to be empty soon. Alright? Ministers are exasperated because they think that the true multitude of the fuel shortages would have been tiny if the public were acting normally. And what it is, these selfish bastards in this country, there's no such thing as acting normal because they're selfish. Alright? There's no normality with white people. They put people in slavery. How normal is that? There's no normality in that. They're a bunch of selfish bastards, and now your selfish bastardity is causing your country to implode. Alright? Normally, the HGV driver shortage would have only had marginally affect the media reports, have prompted queues outside forecourts across the country. The PRA said demand at one service station has risen by 500%. 100% on Saturday compared with last week. Right, you know why? Because this only started this week, or the beginning of last week. 2 weeks ago, there was no crisis for fuel. This come overnight, yeah? But you simple-minded people weren't preparing for this, because you always thought, I'm gonna wake up and my life, my selfish life, is gonna be running smooth all the time, yeah? No. The God of the Hebrews is beginning to visit the world which he made, all right? He wants his respect back, and he wants his people to get the respect. You know, the ones you put in slavery called monkeys, baboons, niggers, you know, the ones that you put beneath your feet. George Floyd, put a knee in his neck. These are the people what God is coming for now, yeah? He wants us back. But first, he's gonna run you through the mill, as they say. He's gonna put you through your crisis, yeah? He wants his blacks, Hispanics and Native Indians back, yeah? The ones you built your society off of free labor, slave labor. He wants us back, all right? And now you're gonna feel it. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Michael Jackson, I think, made a song like that. You're gonna feel all the harshness, what we felt, all right? The pain, the suffering, right? It's coming. Prepare for it. And it says, on even longer, if people's behavior does not change, these people's behavior will not change because they're fucking selfish, all right? They're a bunch of selfish bastards. It won't change, all right? So you're going to be forever queuing up for your fuel. Soon, you're going to be queuing up for your food. Soon, you're going to be fighting for your food, all right? Because you're selfish, you're hateful, and you're ignorant, yeah? And it's good you're that way, because the suffering comes quicker, right? We suffered, yeah, we're still suffering under your foot, calling us niggers, baboons, especially after European Championships, right? Time to suffer, alright? Petrol station is only the beginning. Going to your food stores. Alright, and it says here. Let's read that again. If the people's behavior does not change, they're not going to change. Like I said, you've been pampered over here. Everything is at your fingertips. Everything you stole from other nations like Africa, from Brazil, from all the so-called third world countries where you stole everything from, now you're beginning to feel the wrath. You're going to become a third world, a fourth world, a fifth world country. Get ready! And it said, even longer, if people's behaviors do not change. They call this situation Catch-22. Should have never put us in slavery. Time to pay the fiddler is coming. You don't put people in slavery for 400 to 500 years and expect to get away with it. Catch-22. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Thus saith the Bible, right? The God you don't believe in, right? You're going to believe in him in his last days because you're queuing up for your petrol now, all right? Soon you're going to be queuing up for your food, all right? Get ready. Steady. Go. And it says here, if the people's behavior does not change, they call the situation a catch-22 because by making any interventions, the government could end up by exacerbating. What do they call that again? Exacerbating. Exacerbating meaning making the problem worse. All right? The more we see to react to this, the more we end up driving it. But if we don't react, it just carries on. We're almost generating our own crisis. Right, so it's all good news for us Hebrew Israelites, God's chosen people. It's all good news. Do you know why? Because the God of the Bible is beginning to revisit the world which he made. Alright? He told us he was going to do this to white people in the end times. Right? Let's continue, yeah, with the word of God. We don't believe it, yeah? The fool have said, there is no God, you fools. And it says here, the shortage has also had major knock-on effects that ministers feel need urgent remedying, right? There's no remedies for this one. Just like there was no remedies for us going into slavery under you devils, yeah? There was no remedy for that. There's no remedy for your coming food crisis. You're already at the petrol stations queuing up, but you ain't seen nothing yet. There's a song that goes like that. You ain't seen nothing yet. But baby man, you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till this comes to your Tesco's, yeah? You're lining up for your Tesco's and your Lidl's and your Sainsbury's, yeah? Your food shops, right? This is what's coming, all right? And it says here, with teachers and doctors unable to fill up their tank and drive to schools or hospitals, all right? So it's affecting everybody. But you selfish bastards won't allow them to fill up. You know why? Because you've always been pampered. You're a greedy nation, yeah? You even go hunting on a full belly. That shows you how greedy you are, yeah? And it says, the blunt communication strategy of insisting there is no lack of fuel is likely to be shifted to urging people to be mindful of others when buying petrol. Oh really? Mindful of others? You selfish bastards in this country. You're not mindful of other people. You're everyone for themselves in this country. You greedy bastards. That's why you're fighting over fuel. Soon you're going to be fighting over food. Yeah? Because you've got lack of compassion. You're not a compassionate people. Especially you Edomites, you red people. You call yourself white people, but you're the devil the Bible speaks of. And now you're going to get payback for slavery. This is what's happening. The payback, the big payback, all right? I've been out here prophesying for years, 14 years, yeah? 12 to 13 years prophesying about this, and it's all coming to pass. You know why? Because the God of the Hebrews said so, all right? Whether you believe or not, this is what God said was coming. In the Bible it says you're going to queue up at petrol stations, yeah, to get your petrol, to get your fuel. He said you're going to queue up at food stations to get no food. Famine's coming, death and destruction's coming. All what came on us is going to come on you. Thus saith the Bible. And you're probably asking, why are you so mad? Why are you shouting at it? Why are you so angry? I'm angry because I'm in slavery. I'm still in slavery, alright? You got the chains on the minds of our people. You took the chains off our necks, but now the chains are on our minds. We actually think that you're so-called white people and we're black people. There's nothing black about me. I'm wearing a black hoodie, and I'm brown. You're not white, you're red. Yeah? You're the devil the Bible speaks of. Alright? The children of Esau, the Edomites. Alright? And it says here, attention is also turning to Christmas. Right. Why are they turning to Christmas? Because you guys, you've got to keep up your Babylonian customs, your Satan worship. Alright? Because you're children of Satan. Alright? Christmas is a Babylonian satanic worship. Alright? When you put a Christmas tree in your house, an evergreen, it goes back to the evergreen worship. The Babylonian satanic custom. Alright? Christmas goes back to the birth of Nimrod. And you say that it's the birth of Christ. Nobody knows when the one they call Jesus Christ was born. It only tells you that shepherds were tending the flocks. But because you worship Satan and you're a satanic nation, you worship the Babylonian sun disk. Alright? You're sun worshippers. You've incorporated all the customs of other nations. That's why you've got Christmas. Mother's Day goes back to the worship of Queen of Heaven, Diana. Alright? That's why you've got hot cross buns and stuff like that. All pagan worship. You're a bunch of pagans, you Edomites. Alright? You're satanic basically. And it says here, attention is also turning to Christmas. Kate Martin of the Traditional Farm Fresh Turkey Association said in the UK could face a national shortage of turkeys. You know why? Because you guys have become the turkeys. Right? You don't need turkeys because you guys are turkeys. Okay? Your government has fooled you, you bunch of turkeys. You're ready to, you're soon going to be roasted. Alright? And it says, national shortage of turkeys in the run-up to December. Not only that, not only fuel crisis, not only food crisis, turkey crisis. Alright? Because you want to worship your Babylonian God. Yeah? Because your society, this so-called English, American, Australian, right, you Edomites, let's just say that. You so-called Europeans, you are the Edomites of the Bible. The one what God hates, he said. He hates your guts. But what he said, he has to give you a rulership for him to be just. Alright? But now you see you're coming to your end for slavery. You thought you was going to get away with it. But no. That's not how it works. An eye for an eye. Right? Well, they got a term. They got a term. It's called, they call it karma. Karma is a universal principle. Okay? You know, you Edomites know that. You go to school and you talk about karma. Well, it's all going to turn on your heads now. 300 to 400, 500 years of free labor, slavery, is going to turn on your head. It's called recompense. Payback. Okay? The big payback's coming. Alright? That's why you're lining up for petrol, soon to be lining up for food in Tesco's. You're going to be lining up for everything. Because you've got shortages in your wicked kingdom. Babylon the Great is called in the Bible. Alright? Egypt is called. Nineveh. And all these places was where you had the slave trade. Alright? England got its money. America got its money. Europe got its money off the slave trade. That's where you got your money from. Off of putting people in slavery and working them to the bone. That's where you got your money from. And now it's time to pay up. Yeah? The God of the Bible wants his payback. You're not going to ride over the sunset like Hopalong Cassidy. Yeah? I don't know, a lot of you people don't know who that was. That was a cowboy back in the day. The closing scene was him riding over the sunset. No, that's not going to happen to this kingdom. This kingdom's going to go down with violence. Thus saith the Bible. It was conceived by violence. It's going to go down by violence. Alright? So let's continue with the implosion of your society. Let's get back to the chickens. Alright? Because a chicken is cowardice. That's how they portray someone being cowardice. There was a film called The Four Feathers. Alright? Four Feathers is cowardice. and this is an oxymoron really, because chickens, you have chicken shortage, that means you are cowards, all right? Your society is built off of cowardice. How did you conquer the world? By a projectile. Who created the Gatling gun? You guys. Projectile, because you're cowards. Who invented the bomb? Cowardice men. You know why? Because you couldn't go mano to mano. You're not built that way. You like to hide 500 meters away and shoot with a sniper's rifle. Right? Cowards. Right? And it says turkeys. So let's talk about chickens and turkeys. And it says the TFTA, right, which represents producers of the IHN free-range turkeys, said it was 100% caused the labour shortage due to post-Brexit immigration rules, meaning a whole host of workforce is no longer available for us to use on this basis. So you ain't gonna have no turkeys for Christmas, all right? Turkeys, chickens, all right? So you're gonna have a half-cooked Christmas this year, okay? I think what does America have? They have, what is it called? What's that day they have? They don't call it Christmas. 4th of July or something like that, where they have cranberry sauce, yeah? What represents the blood of the Native Americans. So your feast days are set up on blood, sweat and tears off of murder. You are the man that brings murder to the earth, right? But now it's all coming back on you. Your Christmas it's not going to be like your other Christmases, right? It says here, the British Retail Consortium also said moves to relax immigration rules to fix the supply chain issues was a little too late for Christmas. Fa la 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 is going out the window, all right? And Father Christmas is not coming down the chimney, right? He's going to fall down the chimney because he's going to be a skinny bastard because he ain't going to have enough food in his belly, all right? Andrew Pio, the Group Director of Food and Sustainability Policy, predicted to the BBC that during the festival season, shoppers would see less choice, less availability, that means less food by Christmas in your shops. Not only fuel, food crisis is coming, yeah? And it's all because the God of the Bible is beginning to visit the world which he made. The one you don't believe in, alright? Because you think that you guys are God. You sit in the temple of God, showing yourself that you are God, yeah? By splicing genes, by artificial intelligence, yeah? You're playing God. By your Higgs boson, yeah? You're actually forwarding your demise, as they say, yeah? So it says here, during the festival season, shoppers would see less choice, less availability, possibly shorter shelf life as well, which is really disappointing because this could have been averted. Just like your ambulances are queuing up for fuel, alright? Please, let the ambulances get the fuel, you selfish bastards, alright? And it says, Jim McMahon, Labour Shadow Transport Secretary, claimed the government solution of streamlining HGV tests and granting about 5,000 extra visas for drivers and another 5,000 for poultry workers was not good enough. So it's not good enough trying to draft in 5,000 new workers. It's little too late. That's why you're queuing up at the petrol station. It's a bit too late. I think they call that complacency. or procrastinating, okay? Your government procrastinating. They put off too long. Now you people are going to suffer because of your government. Your governments are alright, they've stocked up. They got everything they need. It's just you people are going to suffer. Alright? Right, Secretary claimed the government solution of streamline, right, we read that. Poultry workers, not good enough, he said. If ministers did not do more, shelves will continue to be bare with medicines not delivered and Christmas ruined for the nation. So get ready for your fa la 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 to turn into ha 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 ha. Alright? Fast days, right? You guys are going to be with me. A Tory MP, David Morris, spelled out the scale of challenges facing the government. He said, I can remember the winter of discontent. So he's telling you the winter of discontent is on the way. Right? Food crisis, fuel crisis, discontent.